with the NHL season over, it is playoff time. More importantly, prediction time. 4 teams from each division have qualified for the Stanley Cup Playoffs, and it is time for me to attempt to predict the results of the playoffs and who will get Lord Stanley's Cup. I am not an expert by any means. These predictions are just for fun and getting my opinions out there. So without further ado, let's get into it. Round 1, Series 1. The Carolina Hurricanes versus the Nashville Predators. The short answer here is Canes in 6, but let me explain. The Canes and Preds are 2 really good teams with many similarities. The Preds finished with 64 points on the year, enough for 4th in their division. Canes with 80 were the top seed. The head-to-head matchups on the season were 5-2 in favor of the Canes, but Nashville comes in just winning 2 straight against Carolina. It is going to be a good matchup, but I have the Canes moving on in 6 games. Next up is the Battle of Florida, a highly anticipated matchup between 2 state rivals, the Panthers and the defending Stanley Cup champs, the Lightning. The Panthers are the number 2 seed with 79 points. The Lightning are the number 3 with 75. Head-to-head matchups favored the Cats 5-3, including 2 recent wins to close out the season. I have the Panthers in 5 games. The Bolts get Kucherov and Stamkos back, conveniently, but I think the Panthers are the better team and the faster team. The addition of Sam Bennett at the deadline has just made the rich richer, as he has been outstanding since the deadline and a key piece for the Florida Panthers, and he is ready to make a playoff run for the Cats. Since we are going by division, next up is the Panthers vs. Hurricanes to find out who will represent the Central Division in the Final Four. The regular season matchups give the Canes the edge 6-2, and I have them in 7 games. They are a dominant team, whether it's Alex Nedeljkovic or Peter Mrazek in net, and I think they'll represent the Central and edge out the Cats for that spot in the Final Four. Both are really solid teams that could make runs this year, but these are my predictions, and if I don't pick your team, don't worry, I'm kind of cursed this year, prediction-wise. Blues vs. Avs. I really like the St. Louis Blues. They have turned their season around and got hot at the right time. And if you know me, you know I love being bold with my predictions. So I have the Avs in 6. Avs won 5 of 8 regular season matchups, including an 8-0 win in the second game of the season. They are coming in as a better team, and I want the Blues to win, but I do believe that it is going to go to the Colorado Avalanche President's Trophy winners. Vegas vs. Minnesota. The Wild are facing the Knights, who are one of the top teams in the league. This season, head-to-heads were 5-3 for the Wild, and I have Minnesota over Vegas. I predict a huge postseason performance from Cam Talbot and the Minnesota Wild. They were a surprise team with the rise of Kirill Kaprizov, and I think the Wild will be the biggest surprise of the first round, moving on in 7 games over the Knights. The Knights obviously are superior in all categories, whether it's defense, offense, special teams, or goaltending, but I think the luck will be on the side of the Minnesota Wild, and they will go one step closer to the Stanley Cup. The Knights were my Stanley Cup pick to start the season, but I think that they fall short in round 1. Colorado versus Minnesota. The short answer is Colorado. And I think that they do move on to the Final Four. The Avs, who recently won the President's Trophy, will represent their division. Grubauer gets the edge over Talbot, and the Avalanche and Kaprizov and the Wild's first run together in the postseason. I have it going to 7 games, and the Colorado Avalanche getting the dub and being able to represent their division in the Final Four. Pittsburgh versus New York. 2 years ago, the New York Islanders swept the Pittsburgh Penguins. This year, I say the Penguins will return the favor. Pens in 4. Penguins are the number 1 seed in their division. Isles are the number 4. Regular season favored the Penguins, and they surprised a lot of people in the regular season and will continue to do so. Crosby, Malkin, and that core that took forever to build in Pittsburgh is not past their prime yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can get another Stanley Cup with those guys. Boston versus Washington. Short answer is Boston in 5. The Bruins are simply a better team, and if Tuukka Rask can remain hot, or even Jeremy Swayman, they will win this series. The Caps have some good pieces. The regular season matchup was 4 aside. The addition of Taylor Hall and Mike Riley has helped the Bruins immensely. And going into the playoffs, they have a ton of momentum that is going to be hard for the Washington Capitals to stop. So, Bruins in 5. Penguins versus Bruins. I have the Penguins winning this series in 7 games. The division champs will move on to the Final Four. The Bruins won 5 of 8 regular season games, but if healthy, the Penguins are the better team. And the return of Geno Malkin will help immensely. It will be a close series, but Pittsburgh will edge them out. It will ultimately be a punch in the gut for the Boston Bruins and their fan base, being 1 win away from going to the Final Four after getting so close to the Stanley Cup just 2 years ago. Oilers versus Jets. The North Division has been chippy all year, and between 2 Western Canadian rivals, this series will be no different. The Oilers, who are a star-studded team with the likes of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, are going to walk all over the Jets, in my opinion. The season series was 7-2 in favor of the Oilers, and in McDavid's historic season, he will carry it on in the playoffs. Oilers in 5 games. Toronto Maple Leafs versus Montreal Canadiens. As a Montreal Canadiens fan, this is going to be completely unbiased. This will be a treat of a series for all hockey fans. The best rivalry in NHL history. And to start the season, I had the Habs over the Leafs in round 1. Now, I have the Leafs in 4. The Canadiens can't keep up, and the Leafs are going to take advantage of it. All I can hope is for Carey Price to return to his playoff form and help steal the series for Montreal, and that Brett Kulak will get a chance to go up against Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, as he was effective in shutting down the best player on the opposing team in the postseason last year. As I said, I have no faith in Montreal. I want the Canadiens to win, obviously, but I honestly don't think they will. I am preparing myself for the fact that the first playoff series victory for the Leafs in 17 years is going to be against the Montreal Canadiens. Edmonton Oilers, Toronto Maple Leafs. The matchup of the 2 top players in the league, scoring won't be a problem. Goaltending will. Campbell and Smith have both been the best stories for their respective teams this year, and it will come down to what goalie runs out of gas first, and I think it will be Mike Smith. And the Leafs will move on to the Final Four in 6 games. So with the Final Four teams set, let's predict who will be the champion of the Stanley Cup this year. Maple Leafs versus Carolina Hurricanes. I think the Leafs' luck will run out. Just 2 wins short of an appearance in the finals. Canes in 6. They are just a better team all around, and they will move on to the Stanley Cup final. The Leafs winning 2 rounds is a lot to build off, and Campbell will hopefully get better and better from now on. They are the best in the North, but facing the Canes will hurt their chances. Carolina wants it, and the Leafs won't have enough to stop them. Penguins versus Avalanche. The President's Trophy champs will face off against the old guys, the Pittsburgh Penguins. And although I would love for the Penguins to get another cup this year, I think the Avs will head into the Stanley Cup Finals in 7 games, as a favorite to win it. The Penguins' year will fall a win short of another Finals appearance, and it won't be their last chance to get to this point in Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin's career. Carolina Hurricanes vs. Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup Final. A moment that all kids that play hockey dream about. A chance to compete for the Stanley Cup. And more importantly, being able to take that victory lap with it after a hard-fought game to take the Stanley Cup. I had the Isles and Vegas in the finals. Lots has changed since then. And with the way these two teams have performed, it's going to be a great series. And hopefully it goes all the way to 7. And I have it going to the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games. It will be a close series, and I think the Avs get over the President's Trophy curse and hoist Lord Stanley. It will be a punch in the gut to the Canes and their great fan base after a great season. But in my opinion, the Avs are just too dominant. And for playoff MVP, the Conn Smythe Award, I have Philip Grubauer, goaltender for the Avs. If he can stay healthy, he is a great player, and will have to be sharp in order for this prediction to come true. The Avs have a super team now, and pieces like Bowen Byram coming up in the system and Alex Newhook. The Avs will just get better, and this could be a start of the next NHL dynasty. Thank you guys so much for watching if you made it all the way through. Another longer video, I'm putting more and more effort into my videos, and expect a major quality upgrade very soon. Let me know your guys' thoughts on who's going to win the Stanley Cup. Whether it's going to be a team like Colorado or an underdog chance like the Minnesota Wild. It could even be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me know down below who you think's going to win it, and if you agree on my predictions and which ones you don't agree on. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.